Hello for all you people that aren't watching at the moment. This is Brooks with Brooks Marching Drill, and I figured I'd give this live streaming thing a shot. See if I can uh, entertain or teach or just whatever. It's my first um, try at this, so I'm sure it's going to go perfectly well. So, I'm working on a second movement for one of my groups, and it's pretty good. So I'm going to just play it right now, the music, and then we'll explain what we're gonna try to get done. I don't know how much we'll get done, at least on stream, but yeah. Here's the music. It's about a minute and 45 seconds. All right, pretty cool, huh? Uh, it's it's really fun, and it should be fairly. Well, I say it's fairly easy to write to. So I've kind of done something a little differently than I usually do. I do it different every single time I write, but I've sort of I've colored each page tab down here where there is a double bar line or letter. It's actually just numbers, but I did purple for percussion. So if I see a purple one come up, I know there's percussion feature there. Blue is going to be brass. Green is going to be ensemble. White is for woodwind. So I kind of blocked out the whole timeline so I can see in advance when I need to get things grouped up the way they need to be before they have to play. And also, this group's given me a lot of freedom with these props. And if you've seen the opener of this, you'll notice I've added a couple props in. Uh, I won't talk about that yet. If you get to see the final product, it'll make sense. But they've added a couple extra props, and it also made sense from a tarp point of view. So I've got a little bit of time at the beginning here. To get the brass into a suitable position. I'd also like to be able to move the props around some during this movement, especially getting them in place for the ballad, which is the next part. So, yeah, I guess we'll get started here. First, and also I'll tell you, I'm using a lot of keyboard shortcuts, um, and I am using a graphics tablet, which yeah, I've gotten used to. So yeah. Um, so right off the bat, drumline is really prominent, and I want to get them seen as fast as possible. So I will get them centered here, and then I will sort of like split this triangle up. I kind of isolated the poor mellophones up here. Um, guard, I don't know if they're changing silks in this movement or not. So I'm going to write the transition in just in case. And if they need it, good. If not, whatever. So I'm gonna move them out of the way for now. I usually write whatever the main focus is. I try to get that going first, especially if it's going to be more of a like the guard is more framing than anything. So I'm not sure. I think all of these are. I think it's all like, yeah, they're all split, regrouped. I'm just going to sort of move them around to get them out of the way, to get a better idea of how I want this to develop. Odd tubas? Not the actual people, but, well, they might be odd, I don't know. Probably, they're tubas. I think yeah. Pretty sure I'm going to want these trumpets to be in some sort of line. I've never actually like written while people watch, so I'm gonna try to keep talking, but if I go silent, then it's because I'm thinking. So the trumpets, logically, they're connected all the way through this triangle. So I think they could be a good way to connect the rest of the brass. And let's see, I'm going to move one of the tubas over here because there's less euphoniums than there are trombones, so that'll help kind of balance things out. Whoops. I do a lot of trial and error. I don't know if that's common, but I just like to try a lot of things, see what I like best, what works, what doesn't, what is actually possible for high school level. Going symmetric again. What is going on with me? I see a problem right here with a weird transition. It's, oh, that's not what I want. Let me check it again. Maybe it's not too bad. No one said anything in chat yet? Do I know any of you? There's a couple of you watching. It's a weird interval. 2.39 steps. But this is just a sort of a regrouping deal. That looks weird. What am I looking at? Okay. And I usually, if I am looking at a bunch of people, I just quickly select them all. If I'm checking for any step sizes that are too crazy, I'll just select them all and then go into the push tool and make sure that I don't have anyone that's going excessively far. Oh God, I just realized I think they're still... I think the whole bed is still set to crab from the previous, the end of the opener. Let's check that. Yep. And they're going really slow too. Cool. All right. Mellophones. Let's see. I'm going to split the woodwinds up, I think, right away and get the mellophones into a easier place to get back quick so they can be with our brass friends. I had to recolor all the woodwinds at the end of when I finished the opener. I kind of recolored them all to be a little bit too similar. I think that's all of them. Yeah, they all look just a little bit too much the same color. Let's go like a dark orange. Yeah. And I'm gonna switch, make sure the altos are a little bit different than the clarinets. What am I missing? There you are. It's weird. I see the stream on my other monitor, and moving that color window around is really distracting. This is a Texas school, which is why the hashes are college hashes. Alright. I'm to get these guys going off into the direction where I want them going. So this is going to be a little messy, I think. Yeah. I think I could probably get the flutes out pretty easy. But ooh. I may just try to merge them all into even that's gonna be crazy. I also need to remember I have quite a while to get this to work, so I can take my time getting them out, which I might do just because they're all mixed up. I always do this. I always write like really cool ends of openers that's really difficult to get out of. Got that flute. It really looks like they're all ass. You know what? I'm going to regroup them a little bit more efficiently. I think I keep the mellophones because they don't really interfere with anything, but the rest of them, let's see if I can get yeah, that looks good. Got like a flute and alto line. Ooh. I know I could just use the arc tool, but I kind of like seeing. Sometimes the arc is too perfect for what I need. Cool. Almost makes, I think I should probably leave these guys online. Or girls, I don't know. There's probably some girls in there too. I also got to keep in mind the end. Well, no, I guess the end of this opener, it wasn't too demanding. It it was more like the very beginning of the show, but the part leading into this isn't too bad. So I probably don't need to give them like that much of a break or go that easy on them, especially since they're not playing here. 20. Okay. Since this bottom woodwind arc kind of folds out, I'm going to see if I can kind of get this to look a little similar. Got clarinet. Smashing into someone. Whoops. There's a couple things that you can do to might have to abandon the whole like folding up the way I wanted idea. Because I really want all my endpoints, high points, low points. I really do my best to make sure that those are on the grid to make it easier to learn and clean. Cool. No more collisions. Since this is fairly archy looking, it's always flipped the wrong way. Always. Let's see what this does. Let's see if always flip the wrong way. Trying to get the spacing to be somewhat similar. Works for me. One more line. Never fails. That spacing's even bigger. I switched from the half step resolution for my handles to full step. I have those set with Alt 1, 2, 3, 4. The higher the number, the higher the resolution. Definitely useful for when you need to get arcs, especially with the morph tool, pretty much only with the morph tool, to line up evenly with like the edges of the grid. Let's see. I don't really want them coming in that far because I'm just going to have to spread them out again, so this is just regrouping. Turn off labels. The problem with exciting music is you want to make the whole thing exciting all the time, and sometimes you just you gotta save it for other parts. All right, let's get the guard going. I'm gonna keep the guard right out front for this introductory statement, because it's very high energy and I want to see a lot of silk. Gotta represent that energy visually, and having a giant piece of fabric is a good way to do that. They're kind of starting to... Do I want them to transition to the back or the front? That's really close. This is where I spend a lot of time adjusting the guards' positions while looking at, like, exclusively in real view, because I want them to, I try to make them look bigger than they are, and sometimes fine-tuning exactly where they are based on the perspective of the crowd, you can really increase their presence. And then sometimes you can, once you kind of get them hand placed, oops, well, that wasn't what I wanted. Once you get them hand placed in approximately the positions you like, then you can see if there's any pattern as far as, you know, like where things land on the grid. I don't know, that probably didn't make any sense, but another thing I like to do if I'm getting these weird diagonals, I'll just overlay them. Looks good. I overlay them on top of each other, and I'll just scoot the whole thing over. And 45, 35, 4 behind. Now, have their flags down from the beginning of the opener. I don't think that this opener leads directly into this. Like, I think there's a cutoff, and then they count off again. But just in case, I'll show you 3 counts. I'll go from attention 2 to attention 1. And I'll just do spinning. Spin, send 3, 4, so we'll do 1/3. As long as you work as you go, adding visuals isn't too hard. And you once you kind of like learn timings and all that. Kind of. Do you want to turn labels back on? I don't know. I don't know how I managed to get G1 all the way back here, but I'm gonna have to fix that somehow. So, oops. I kind of like the idea of all the woodwinds merging into one big line, or maybe two lines. Yeah, 2 lines. And then having the mellows just move right up the... Oh no. I don't get this arc. I don't know why that happened. Oh my gosh. I have my autosave set to, I think it's like 5 minutes faster than whatever the default is. So I will start with sort of getting them spread out into the general distribution I want. So I want to make sure that these guys get spread out evenly before I cut and glue them in. You'll see what I mean. So this is messy. I'm basically following this arc around, and I'm just gluing the first of each one that I come across. That way when they merge together, there shouldn't be any collisions. And since this is just for regrouping, they're already mixed up, so. Did I grab a guard? I sure did. No. Get out of there, guard. Oh, come on. There we go. 23, 23. That. I was gonna see if I could turn that into a block, but they just came out of a big blocky form, so I'm gonna stay away from that for the second. The interval's really, really small. The first people to play are brass. So I think I'm gonna get the woodwinds. Wow. Okay. What's happening? That might not have been the right thing to do. No, it was not. I'm surprised anyone's still watching. I would have driven myself crazy by now. I just realized I made a mistake. I've got people. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Get the guard out of the way for now. Wait, what? Yeah, okay, sorry. I am pretty tired. I will just tell you now. So if I'm making really stupid mistakes, I am sorry. Wait. What is happening? I had 23 a second ago. What did I just do? I'm so confused. I'm not gonna complain though. I could do 6. I might go for blocks just because I like blocks. Do 4 times 6, but that might get me, that'll make ungrouping them a little bit more difficult later down the road. So I'll try to do 8. And then, how about you clarinet players? Your clarinet friends back here. I don't, for some reason I just discovered the adjuster tool, which is the one I'm using to move individual people, like 2 years ago, and ever since I've been using it like crazy. But it I don't know if I'm saving time versus cutting and gluing all the forms that I want that are like this. I mean, I should probably just glue them now because I know how I want them arranged. Something, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's see if we can get them in this little block in good time. Oops. Without anyone having to all face or slam into each other. Let's try. No. It's fancy stuff. Sorry, hold on. I'll show you. Oh, cool. Oh. Looks good. Looks good to me. I have the real view window full screen on the monitor to my right. And I just have OBS put a little window up here for you guys. So I actually get to see this part of my screen. But I can switch the views out pretty easily. Oh, wrong button. I'm using a Logitech G710 Plus keyboard, and it's got these preset 1 through 6 G keys on the very left side, and I have them set to different shortcuts. That way I can just quickly hop between the ones that I use the most. And then I have a couple other shortcuts set up on my keyboard, so I could basically leave my left hand in the same general area, and it saves a little bit of time here or there. All right, let's get clarinets back together. We'll take you guys. You guys can hang out there. I usually keep this, I really should know the name of it, console thing. I usually keep it on the top right, but that's where the real view thing is. So it is a little bit confusing for me every once in a while. Not you. It's always, every time there's something that you want to go one of two ways, it's always the way that you don't want. Murphy's Law, right? Also, on my graphics tablet, if you used one, you can hover over the pad and it moves like your mouse around. And anytime you make contact with the pen nib, the tip to the tablet, it counts as a left click or left click and drag. And then there's two buttons where your thumb or your finger go on the side. I have the one closest to the bottom as right click, so I can just click away easily. And then I have the button above that set to enter. So I don't have to like hit enter on my keyboard or, you know, move my pen around. I mean, it's not a huge thing, but once you get into it, just being able to hit enter on the key on the pen makes a difference. Let's see, how long have we been going? 45 minutes. And I'm not even 2 pages in. That's about right. It's about normal for me, honestly. You know what? I think I want... Whoops. Oh god, no. Let's see what it looks like if we just have them face the direction they're going. It doesn't look good. We'll have them turned to back and like 3 counts on the move. That looks pretty cool. I love turning things back field, especially when there's a contrast in the front and back of a uniform. But in this case, since I think actually, yeah, pretty much everyone is marching forward. So to turn them back field would make cleaning that a lot harder because everyone would be blind moving into that spot. So I'll leave them facing forward for now. No. Whatever. These guys, let's see. I will turn them in 6 to face backfield. just 8 to 5 back. Turning at 6 is too slow. I know brass are going to be the first to be playing, so I'll have even more time to get the woodwinds grouped up in their sections. So I kind of like the way that looks with the mellophones coming up through the center. I think because I'm thinking what we'll do is later, because this whole piece basically well, up through here it's all full ensemble, and then it sort of goes back and forth between all woodwinds, all brass, all woodwinds, all brass. So I kind of want to like emphasize that I want people to be like, I want literally, I'm not usually a fan of splitting them up so blatantly when it doesn't make sense, but it definitely makes sense in this case. And I'm thinking I'm also going to try to use that to bring some of these props forward. So when brass are playing, the woodwinds are kind of starting to nudge the props forward, and then they'll stop and they'll get on the props and pose and play, and then while they're playing, the brass will move forward. You know, vice versa. Because the idea of this show is we want to bring all the clouds slowly closer and closer to the front throughout the whole show, to give the sort of the illusion of, you know, getting closer to the clouds, getting further off the ground, soaring a little bit. So it might be a little bit tricky or weird. I guess it depends. It really depends, though. Let's see. I was looking at the articulation. I was thinking if the articulation wasn't too complicated, I could have ensembles further back, and it wouldn't make such a big difference with phasing. But I guess as long as percussion or the battery is near them, the pit will listen back to make sure all the sound's lining up. But if I have woodwinds, say, further forward than the brass, their entrance is going to sound a little bit weird. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Sometimes you got to make some very small sacrifices that just are going to have to be cleaned on the field whenever you're dealing with props. Because generally, my main priority is always trying to make the music sound the best. But sometimes that I don't want to say it takes a backseat, because that sounds horrible. Let's see, do I like that? I was thinking about flipping the snares and the basses up vertically and then having them rotate and pinwheel and stuff, but since they are the only ones out on the field playing, I don't want them to be lined up vertically, because that could muffle things. So I want them to be pretty prominent, with everyone having a decent forward-facing angle. So do I want to start making a symmetry right now? Or do I want white? I don't know. I have an idea. Not something I do very often. Oh, and this doesn't even divide up right. It will. There's a pretty intense split in the for the bases, so I don't want to get them too far apart at any one moment. But the snares parts aren't too crazy. Ah, 2.91. I got people like on half steps and stuff. Oof. Oop. Nope. Okay. Maybe I'll actually... Yeah. I kind of dig that. I'll have the tubeless turn back field so that the snares are more visible. And there's no chance of people running into each other. That way... Ooh, that's not gonna work, is it? Good. They're at 3 steps right now. Oh, why did you turn around? Oh, no, that's not healthy. We'll bring them in to 2.5. Yeah. And then we'll have the tubas, sousaphones. Turn back field. In 3 counts. That's pretty cool. Then we're gonna... This should be cool. Really simple. Oh, cut. Glue. Oh no. That might... Oof. How far would it... Yeah, never mind. Ah! That's not gonna work. Not yet, anyway. How do we want to approach this? Yeah, I can't do that unfolding. Not right there. That's way too... I don't even think they could do that. No. Why is it? That seems like really intense. What I can do is I can compress this interval down. I don't know why the middle people keep contorting all scary like. Ooh, That's really, really tight. A little too tight. For vertical lines are really very, very easy to clean for from a ensemble judges or GE standpoint, because basically as long as everyone's in, in line, it's really hard to tell if the spacing's on, unless it's just really bad. So vertical spacing is a little bit more forgiving from the top. Now, if there's a individual judge on the field watching, that's of course a completely different story. So I'm just gonna condense them up a little bit and see if I can make this at all doable. Yeah. Though I want them turning now. These top two, it wouldn't be a problem, but there's some like weird paths. Oh no. Yeah, that's much better. Remember to glue them back together the right way, or else you might get really angry later. Okay. So I think what I want to do is kind of start having the low brass, or no, just the brass, start wrapping around back behind. See, I'm pretty sure I want, oof. Oh, it's tough. I definitely want them to turn around and face back for this part. If they're all facing, if they're all moving backward, backfield, then that just makes sense. Do I want to feature this mellophone thing unfolding? I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? After it auto saves. Come on. All right. I'll switch to higher resolution. This can get really tedious. I'm sure anyone that's used Pyware can understand to get the type of shape that you want. So easy to clean. This is right on the center. This point right here. The top of the arc hits on the grid, and another grid point on the end. I copy that, and then I'm going to paste. I have also found that if you move this, move the actual handle around first, then move this, everything lines up on the grid. For some reason, if you grab the handle right away, it, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like permanently off the grid. It's not a huge deal, but it can save a little bit of time. Flip it both ways. Come on. Nope. All right. Nope. Yeah, good enough. Decently happy with that. Oh, guard, what do I want to do? The wind entrances is sort of a pyramid starting with low brass. So I kind of want I don't know. It's usually not a good idea to just move the guard around and wait till later, but sometimes you gotta make sure everything else works. Actually, you know what? There's a big, huge open space right in the front of the field. So I'm gonna wreck all the work I just did. Or I did a while ago, getting the guard into good spots. And get them started moving forward. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Turn off my air conditioner so it wouldn't make a lot of extra noise in the background. I'm also trying to keep in mind I want to try to avoid a lot of like back and forth or like sharp direction changes for anyone if I can help it. I try to prevent any of those weird abrupt direction changes. I like to try to make sure everything is moving smoothly as possible. That's something I just kind of became a thing for me the last couple of years. Mainly because I was tired of trying. I was tired of cleaning touch and goes for the most part. Actually, I'd be interested. If any of people watching now or maybe listen later, whenever you or if you teach touch and goes, do you do the touch and go? Do you touch first of all toe first, or do you roll into the dot? And also, do you just make sure that you point to the dot? or get your foot onto the dot and then move to the next set, or do you try to get the center of mass, center of body over the dot before moving on? Because it's always an interesting like conversation, and even though I'm such a I'm drill, I've always thought point into direction changes with your foot and touch the dot instead of going center over dot, unless you're passing through the dot. And I know from a picture point of view, that's not technically the way to make the best picture. Sorry, I don't know how loud the audio is. But my feeling is if everyone's doing the same thing, then as long as it's consistent, you'll get the effect that you want. But I definitely see how having your whole body over the dot whenever you're passing over the dot or touch and go or whatever theoretically makes the picture, it just actually makes the picture better, cleaner. But I've never really taught it that way. Crotch the dot, I think, is what most people say. Or I've other terms also, depending on if you're a marching drum corps or if you're doing high school band. Some things are only appropriate in certain situations. Oh, goodness. I've also set up keyboard shortcuts for arranging labels quickly. I generally wait. It's usually like the very last step I do before I export charts, but sometimes I like to clean them up. Let's see. Should I do 7 and 7? I think I should. Wait, what? I completely forgot. Lost my train of thought. Yeah. No. Do that all the time. That's why it takes me an hour and 15 minutes to write 2 sets. I'm also talking, which I've never done before, so. I always made fun of YouTubers and streamers that play games and miss super obvious things. But they're right. It does. There is a certain amount of concentration and brain power required to talk and do things at the same time. That's nice. I like that. And then there's a cool descending line, which I'm gonna write a ripple into, because I do, that's what I do. I'm gonna have these guys move over. Oof, having the front edge here on a center isn't great, and having the back edge on a 2 off isn't, but I think I'd rather have them go 8 to 5. Now I get to do the unfolding thing. And I get to whoop, whoop. So 2 blocks pulling apart. It's kind of like they're stretching out that. That's janky for now. These guys probably don't need to be moving that fast, do they? 12 to 5. Let's see what that looks like. Try something real quick, just to see what it looks like. I don't know. What do you think? Still no one said anything in the chat. Either that or my chat's broken. Hello. Ruled. I like how that descending line resolves into this block, but then we kind of lose that pulling apart thing. I don't know. I really like that descending line and this block locking in on that. I'm a sucker for window boxes. I shouldn't be, because they're like never clean. See, this is something, if I knew I was going to be on the field at any point to help teach, I would write it. And then I would have them take one more step, like their movement continues. So instead of closing, they step one more forward, and that would create the window block and then have them turn forward. But that's probably not going to happen. We'll just have them turn and most of them are moving backwards here, so I'll have them turn face back. And it's more subtle. And then I will just snap them, see what this looks like. I like that. I like it. Clean this up. I would love to, yeah, I would like to watch someone else. Actually, I would like to watch other people write too. Because I, just from like the drill visual design Facebook group, seems like we all kind of think very similarly. So it'd be fun to see how different we all write in our process, or similarly, or speed-wise. Maybe learn some cool shortcuts. I think I'm going to condense this to emphasize that. Oof. They're already at a pretty small interval. So a couple ways I can condense this down. I can just bring the ends in a little bit. Just to bring in the focus and the contrast of motion. Oh, that's like nothing. And that's still under 2 steps interval. Or I can maybe flashing. Oh god. This could be cool too. Yeah, I probably should get, oof. I should probably get these ends closer together. If it starts with low brass. So they're not so far apart on the field. Getting these handles in the right place. It's still really, really tight interval. But it makes sense. Let's see. Snares are moving out. going to bring the tubas back together. Ooh. No, I'm going to bring the snares back together behind the bases. Since they're decrescendoing anyway. As long as I can do it without anyone running into each other. Oh, they're already grouped the right way. What are the odds of that? Oh no, maybe I should have put the 4 tubas on the other side. Eh. I can have, yeah, these guys go back a little bit further. Actually, I'm just gonna, oh, got. Oh, always the wrong way, always. I could bring these in a little bit further without anyone. Yeah. And I'm just gonna have the snares go right behind the bases. Just hide. Oh yeah. The bases are at 2.5. I think I'll put on a detail that no one's gonna see. Turn in. Let's see, 5. Turn in 6. Copy. Paste visual. I'll go the other way. Very, very slight ripple there. I'll also do the same thing. I should check to see if there's keyboard shortcuts to go between the different camera presets. That could be useful. That would save me a couple seconds every once in a while. It's very... See, this is weird. It definitely has a ripple sound for the guard here, but I don't like ripples that go off into nowhere. And the director at this group said that his choreographers and guard directors actually really, really liked all the visual stuff I put in, and that they're going to use a lot of it for foundations. So I don't kind of want to just throw stuff in for the sake of it. I know what I'll do. Okay, so I got 7. Got 6 counts to put in some sort of thing. I'll do... Oh, this might be... The single tosses don't look great. That's not bad. And then I'll have just PA for the whole range. So what I'm doing is I'm setting what all of them are going to be doing, but in sequence. So if there's 7 in each line, and the last person starts on count 7, then they get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 before like they have to end on 12. So you have to take that into consideration. So I got 6 counts. That's the 6 counts all of them are going to do. Copy. Go to the whole range. Paste. And then you want to drop down there. Take it. Then when I go to this line, do the same thing. Ah! Where are they? Sometimes the visuals just disappear from the clipboard. Copy. Paste. Oh, it's even worse. What is going on? Doing something? What is going on? I'm really confused. Oh. Whatever. Oh, they're not doing anything now. Good grief. Oh, you're right. I'm selecting the wrong person because that, yeah. I forgot that it resets because I set that on the wrong side. Nope. There we go. There we go. Ah, I got people watching now. That's can be helpful whenever I lose my mind. And go to like attention 2, 6, turn back. Yeah, 6. Ah. And since I want this to contrast a little bit more, I'll have them turn in opposite directions. So just split into 2 separate moves. I mean, it's really subtle, but cool. Those mellophones facing back doesn't work there anymore. Oh no! This form might Hmm. These might look better if they're all facing the direction, because it's such gradual curves. Yep. Oh, come on. Follow the direction of the move. There we go. Turn in front. 5. Give them a little bit of time to breathe. I know it doesn't matter, but I write the visuals in as if they were really going to do them exactly the way I write. Yeah. Autosave. Okay. I guess they don't really need a horns up, do they? I will say that they're not facing forward. I like that even though there's not like a horns down for the sousaphones, they treat them like all the other wind instruments with visuals like horns up and horns down. That way, when you're selecting like all your winds, it doesn't freak out like if you were to accidentally get your drum line in there and then suddenly, oh no, there's no horns up or down. So that was really that was a cool feature that Pyware put in. I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm just gonna add some random. Have them all turn forward. Wait, what? Nope. I need a new computer. Sometimes just playing and stopping is like a waste of time. Oops. No, not Neil. Did I do these in 2 or 3? I did them in 2. Oh bother. Okay. I think a lunge would probably look better there, but since there's not a lot of time for them to get, yeah, whatever. Okay. Full on solo moment starts here. So I need to make sure I got some kind of cool thing happening. I guess it's still developing at this point. I really like this music. This whole show is really, really good. The problem when the music is like when the music's really good like this and really energetic, the hardest part is not putting in sets every 3 counts. Because if I could write it with no restriction, this like minute and 45-second piece would have like 50 sets. So restraint is difficult, as any new drill writer or guard director will tell you. I feel like the basses should be moving. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Whoa, never mind. No, not yet. Now... now the woodwinds are still mixed up. I didn't get... Ugh. It's okay, it's okay. I do like how the low brass is, or the whole brass is split up to be in like stereo. I do that quite a bit lately, and it was from the first time, pretty much the only time I heard that used purposefully. I don't even know if it's purposefully. It was the Cavaliers, like that samurai show, and I remember there was one set where they had the contras split, and they were pretty far apart, and the whole horn line was split perfectly down the middle and distributed on either side. And I remember there's one part, it was amazing. It sounded so much different because the whole sound was balanced across left and right channels, or across the field. It was really neat. So it's an effect I try to do when I can, as long as phasing wouldn't be much of an issue. And I got baritones and youths, and they're within the 35, so it shouldn't be a huge problem. And they only play for 6 counts. So then mellophones join in, so then we got plenty of places to listen. Actually, tubas play right off the bat too. Although this score doesn't... They don't actually have a tuba part. Or do they? Maybe. There's 3 low brass parts. Yeah, I guess it's Oh, it is 2 bits. A TB. For some reason, I thought it said T flat, which I is really that would be very modern and fancy of them. No, it's a big score that I have to shrink down. I guess I'm used to seeing more defined like parts spelled out, like separate trombone and baritone parts. But I get why they do low brass. Let's see. This is a long transition. 24 counts is a long time. Oh, I need to move them back. I need to get them kind of closer to the props. Maybe duos don't need to move that far. Oh, but it looks good. And I'm always, I spend all this time getting these forms to look so good. Nice balanced lines and clean curves. And often I'm just thinking, this is never going to look that way. So I'm thinking is as the music's kind of adding on, I kind of want this block dissolving off and kind of adding on to this line. That's the idea. The idea, anyway. I was thinking it's gonna be tough with the woodwinds being all mushed together, but let's space the drum line, the basses out a little further again. I love the lock interval feature. I pretty much only ever use it for when I'm doing drumline stuff, but it's definitely handy. Ugh. I know if I'm gonna get brass, if I need brass back here at some point, I want the drum line to be pretty far back as well. I feel uncomfortable having the drum line in front of winds. Oh, that's not gonna work. Good grief. I should just be looking at that dot, because I know where that tuba is going. Eesh. Fine. The only tricky part is whenever you're doing the lock intervals, just trying to get both ends to end up on a line or on on the grid. Dang, it's still really close. kind of like the idea of having the drumline like diving into this open space. They're still moving halftime? I guess I could. The step size is really small. Come on. Or I think I had them moving at quarter time. Yeah, they're moving at quarter time. Wow. Drumline's got to be turned back around. For the next phrase. Yeah, this part's gonna take a while. See, if I didn't have any restrictions, I'd probably split this off into 6-count groups and have this break away every 6 counts and then kind of just spread out and reform. But I want this to be easy to learn, so since they're not playing, I might split it up into 2. Having a subset for the brass here wouldn't be a bad idea anyway, so they can have a checkpoint, because 24 counts is a long transition to try to keep clean. Let them go there. Ooh. Sorry, flute, you have to find your way around that alto. That's not good. Also, this group is my first group using Ultimate Drill Book with the Pyware app. So that's kind of cool. I've not actually used it. I have the Pyware mobile app. I use that a lot. But I knew a lot. I know Ultimate Drill Book's pretty dang popular. So we'll see. Definitely, it's really easy to upload for Ultimate Drill Book. It's definitely easier than for the mobile app. Oof. Oh. Yeah, this is just gonna look like a mess until it isn't. Although I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. It makes the part where it all comes back together more dramatic. How do I want to deal with this? I want to try to kind of keep a lot of this block together. Ooh. Dang you. Aldos. Why do you have to be hanging out here all by yourself? This is slightly janky. We'll see how it goes. Oh god. Nope. Don't want people phasing through each other. Would be very cool visual though. If only physics weren't a thing. I'm gonna leave these guys here. Oh, that looks so bad. That'll do. I just realized that euphonium is not moving, but should be a little bit. Oh no. There's like that group like secondary feature. I don't know when I figured that out, but it's been a really nice time saver. If I can remember what I was doing. Oh, okay. Oh, what? Oh god. always groups things together in the weirdest possible way. Let's see, what do I want to do? I had these flute players moving this way before, so I don't want them to have to like immediately turn back around and go the other way. Because I want to try to keep these guys behind the front hash, but there's plenty of time. This is the part where I start realizing I'm not talking anymore. Because I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Yeah, I want the flutes moving that way. Let's see if I can adjust this set. Oh, never mind. That's right. So now there's no weird harsh direction changes for the flutes. And it looks like there might be for baritones. Maybe have the flutes come forward. Yeah, it'll just be sort of a slower section. This block. There's not really a good way to solve this, is there? They're all mixed up in there. Really mixed up. I guess I could bring the altos out and leave something of a cohesive block. I really don't like trying to write sections where people have to negotiate their own paths. If I can make sure that it works on paper, no one can blame me. Nah, that's not really true. If something can't be figured out because of something I wrote, then that's kind of my fault. How do I want this to? You know what? The woodwinds start playing here. So I can break them all up. No big deal. Except for people slamming into each other. That's kind of not good. Oops. I think I waste a lot of time with not bothering to group and glue people up. Paste glue? I don't know. Paste people up in like logical ways when I should. So I'm just kind of building up a rough shape of how I want to see this develop. Wow, that's changed a lot. These altos are do-si-doing right through each other. That's an easy one. Wow, it's getting really hot in here. Oh, wood ones come in unison. Well, maybe not unison, but dotted half notes across the board. Easy stuff. What would this look like if I just had them keep going? Not particularly good. Although, let's see what everything looks like up to that. And in that context, it doesn't look bad. Your eyes kind of drawn to this shape while it's forming, rather than this weird mess. Oh, no, God. I'm gonna stick with it for now. See what. So you got one more 12 count move to kind of get things where they need to be. Go away, guard. Huh. That's gonna be tough. I'll try it anyway. Oh no. Forgot I got these guys switched. Oh. So I could get this flute to attach to this tenor, have this alto flip around, connect up here, have this line swing around, or have this line, yeah. There's a couple ways I could do it, but if I want to keep this, this form's continuity, which is kind of what I'm making happen right now, then I shouldn't do that. But it's also going to cause these to kind of flip, some people to be getting real friendly. You know, it'd be kind of cool is if you could set different handle resolutions per tool, because almost every time I'm using the morph tool, I need more precision. Whereas that's pretty much the only one. So if I could set it to where every time I'm using the morph tool, it switches to like half step or quarter step resolution, that'd be neat. I will bring that up. Although a lot of times when I'm like suggesting new features or having them add one to the list, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that would ever use it. Like I don't even know if other people change the resolution of their handles. This axis hauling ass. But if I flip these guys around, I don't know what this shape is going to end up being. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Don't like how... I'm going to do something else here. I don't like how sharp that curve was. So... I'll take an extra move. In this case, I kind of do want... I sort of want a sharp direction change here. So... Practice your touch and goes, flutes. Or... Switch hippers... Hip switch, sip, hitch. There's a lot of negative space here. It's making me feel... Oh, that doesn't look good. Oof. Oh no. Those altos are switching places the wrong way again. It's probably because of... I changed the drill. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. Hmm. There we go. Huh. I just had the tubas moving that way. Those. I don't know if those altos switch themselves around. Oh, dang it. Now let's see if I can make this work less awkwardly. Trying to collapse this big open space down a little. I could, I'll probably throw some guard in there. Because I want some guard heading back with everyone going back. Oh, that's a weird. Oof. 5 to 5. Yeah, come on. Hello, people that are still watching, by the way. Maybe leave these disjointed for now. I guess the flutes are going to be making a quick direction change. It wouldn't... Oh, that bugs me. Tuba was not on yet. If the tubas make a sudden direction change... Oh, come on. It wouldn't... It would look kind of cool. I kind of see what I want happening. That's a little intense. Don't want to reveal my hand yet. As far as motion goes. Save something for the impact. These guys I'll whip around. Another thing I could do, I could have had these guys come this way. Wait, what? No, never mind. I forgot what I was thinking. Or up. Oh god. Like, could have them come this way and be their own little line up in here. Up in here. And then for the final part, have the clarinets connect them around. That could be interesting. It would be really tough though. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with my original plan. Hmm. 1.85 to 5. I mean, interval. I almost think I should have the flutes move over a little bit so these guys can line up. I think I'm going to do that. Now let's close that down. Should close it down to about exactly 2-step interval. Very close. And it will allow this one, actually this will shrink a little, I think. But it gives a better, these people that are moving backwards know that they'll be moving backwards and landing on a line. So they'll be able to see that ahead of time. And I'll have these guys come down. So they are marching forward, not directly sideways into their dot. Something I try to do when I can. They should probably have their horns up if they're about to play, huh? Horns up. And we'll go in like 3. Yep. Cool. And I'm gonna move drumline in the opposite way of the people in front of them. Oh, come on. Yeah. And then somehow glue this giant pile of clarinets together in a logical way. don't want them to actually connect yet. Oh, save it. Save that moment. $7.45. Oh no. It's a little close for comfort. Oof, this outside curve. It's gonna have to be 2 off, I think. But they're marching forward into it. Everyone behind them will see that. Even though you should never ever guide. I'm talking about reference points on the field. All right. So make it happen. Oh, I'll save them for last. Probably spent way too long trying to get this set to look good, but whatever. Yeah, I will definitely probably get the guard back in all this area. This could be a really cool moment. To have the guard filling out all this space. Oh God. So do a follow. I have to figure out what I want to do after this because a follow leader would be really difficult for the people moving backwards through this. Not impossible. It would just have to teach it in a very creative way. It can work. Although I think I have an idea of what is going to happen there. Here. It's old school. Old school cool. don't want anyone going more than 8 to 5 backwards. Or close to, if I can help it. Seven to 5. I think that's okay. I knew I was gonna set. This set was gonna take me forever. Okay. It's hard to, sometimes it's hard to deal with bass drum spacing because, like, you can see in real view, if they're facing side 2, because of their drum, their spacing looks alright against the tubas. But, come on. Come on. If they're facing the other way. Oh, what? Okay, yeah. Then there's a gigantic gap here. So, I don't know. Wait, why? How did that happen? Never mind. I don't know. Whatever. I just got random people like turning around every which way. Whatever I'm editing. I'll take it though. Take it over that prop swap bug that was going around. I actually, as long as I've been working with marching band, writing drill, I've never actually known what, like percussion instructors, like I don't know what like why they would have basses flipped one way rather than the other. I mean, I guess it's just whatever way they're able to see a drum major easiest. If I had to guess, I'm guessing. I'm also guessing if there's only one drum major in this group, if they're on side 1, they'll be facing the other way. Whatever. It'll work either way. I'll flip them around here. Ooh. Okay. I think we'll get through this. We're gonna get through this impact and then I will call it a stream. Going for 2.5 hours. Not bad. But I'm getting a little bit hungry. So, what? See, what I think would be cool is that they would hold for 3, move for 3, hold for 3, move for 3. But that's. I mean, I'll just write it the way I think it would be cool musically, and then change it back if I don't like it. Not dab. Oh no. I try to. I always make my holds subsets, since most, or at least most of the groups I work with, the instructors use tablets or iPads. So having it print an extra set isn't killing extra trees, and they use the students use coordinate cards. So adding a whole extra set just for a hold isn't like a waste. Plus, if there's specific like visuals that I want to happen within that hold, I write them in on that page. It's worked out well. It's been a good system. I also I definitely recommend, if you haven't set up any shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts for your arranging your labels, definitely what I've got, as long as you have a number pad, is what I do is I just hold control and depending on like the actual numbers, so like 8 would be straight up, 2 down, 4 left, 6 right, and then all the others are diagonal, and then plus or minus, of course, it's a distance, and then I have the like forward slash or divide, oops, is your contour 1, then the asterisk is contour 2. And I don't think I have alternate. No, I don't have the alternate one because I don't use it very often. So if I do need it, I just do it manually. Randall uses the same page structure I use for holds. I definitely, I like it much better. It's much more organized, and you don't have to you don't have to say, move 12, hold 6. You can just say hold 6, and just, everything is really defined. And the more defined and easier to read you can make it, the better it is for everyone. So can I do? Oh, cool. Oh, God. Oh, no. Yeah, you can hold control and scroll now to zoom in and out. But I was using the touch controls on my tablet and kind of kept overshooting. I don't even know what I was doing. Okay. So hold 3. Oh. The label's moving. I thought everyone was moving. Okay. Three count move. Oh God. See, if this was for a group that I'd be with, I'd make these 3 count moves like gigantic. Oof. You know what? I'm gonna write it in. Yeah, I'll see what it. First, I'm gonna see what it looks like, and then I have an idea. What? Wow, they're hauling ass. As long as none of them are moving backward. If I like the way this looks, there's a cool contingent that can be written in, sort of pre-built into the drill. Oof. Oh, they're going backwards. That's bad. This could be a really neat effect. Four and a half to five. That's really big. It's one problem with working with these gigantic forms over really short time frames is that like tiny moves made on one end or one, just making one arc a little bigger here or there can cause really bad issues for others. Ah, God, now they're moving backwards. Oh, it's getting worse. This is why I always felt bad for my roommates. Glad I live alone now. Although I'm wearing headphones, but they got to listen to loops over and over and over like this while I made sure looked at a lot of the performers. I like it. Okay. So what the contingency I was talking about is if if this hold 3, move 3 is too much, they can just turn the hold 3, move 3 into a move 6. And then, you know, it goes from 4.5 to 5, or, you know, almost 5 to 5 to 9.6 to 5. It's not quite as impactful, but it's like actually a lot less impactful. It's an option. And then this one, we'll go move 3. Do one more big, huge, like step size thing, and then slow it back down. I know I've been trying to get them, trying to get everything back to the props a little. Definitely, I've been failing on that one a lot. Bringing them further forward. So props are hard. Get them to half without them dying. Hold 3 is such a small time frame too, because it'll be move to point, close on 1, hold 2, prep 3 moves. So it's when it's actually happening, it's going to be probably feel more like an actual visual or like dance than it would be just like moving and holding, moving and holding. Oh, that's cool though. Come on. They are really condensed in there, huh? At least the flutes are, for the most part, forward and back. Got trumpets. Trombone's got plenty of room. Baritone's got room. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. I never changed my real view. My character map back to trombones. Is B for trombones and E for baritones, euphoniums. That's funny. Dang, that's... Oh, it's only 9 counts. Huh. It's not really a good arrival point. Not like a cool, powerful set for it to arrive on. I could go to... I might be able to get to 2 to 5. Or 2-step interval. Straight lines. Maybe. The interval's a little bit tight. So they'd have to expand a lot. Oh, yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe. Six to 5. Actually, wow. That actually works out pretty nicely. There's a huge gap right here. But these line up nicely. I actually really like that. Oh. I'm really guilty about doing this to drum lines. Of just putting them in really in a straight line or whatever this configuration's called. Block thing. I should try to do more interesting things with drum lines. I do sometimes, but they're so essential to making sure that, you know, tempo is right. And that, I don't know. I kind of just want them to be playing really, really well for the vast majority of the time. I know that doesn't make any sense. And it depends on drum line to drum line. I had a band director once tell me that you should never put bass drums in front of tubas because they absorb all the sound from the tubas. And that was the only time I've ever heard that. And I don't know. Is that a thing? I don't even... I don't know. I've never heard that before. Maybe it's some special unwritten rule that I should have learned a long time ago, but I've kind of always followed it. But to be fair, she kind of never really knew what she was talking about. Okay, now I gotta get the guard to play nice with all this. Actually, let's go ahead and watch it. I like watching it from the beginning to like see continuity and stuff. And just if I like what I'm writing, I like watching it, which I guess is kind of what uh, I don't know. It's like my whole design philosophy is like I write the drill that I like to watch. All right, let's see. Hopefully, I don't mess anything up. We'll watch in real view. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, okay. Oh god. Yep, I dig it. I also like going back and watching stuff because it reminds me of certain like visual stuff that I haven't put in yet. Oh, but I always forget to turn off. It's a pure technique move right there. If they were moving 8 to 5. But they started one off. These are little decisions. Oh yeah, I need to turn back the grid view. So like, yeah, this block moving facing its direction, I need to transition so you can see what I see. There we go. Yeah, this block moving across, like they start one off of the 50. So if I want them to do a purely basics move straight across at 8 to 5, then they also don't land on the grid really at all. So I don't know if it's better to have them going at a non like fundamental step size so they can get their land on their checkpoints easier, or yeah, I don't know. I generally opt for making sure they can land on clear points on the grid. So that's what I'm gonna do. Easier to clean. Oh, it's a hard set to label. All right, let's get the guard. Let's get them going. I forgot what I was doing. There's a part where the guard's not doing anything. I want them to do stuff. Turn up the music audio a little bit. I forgot to watch again because I was fixing audio. That's the point I wanted. They're not doing anything here. We'll have span faster, and then toss. Yep. It's probably going way too fast. Nope, looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that looks good. I think they're, yeah, this is where I need to start getting them worked in. I use the adjuster a lot for guard. Who's calling me? Denver, Colorado. Not someone I know. Cool if it was Blue Knights. Hey, Red Herschel. Let's see. Can I get some of these girls in here? It's all girl guard. That are all girl guard. Oof. Oh, come on. I get this impact going with guard. And this band actually moved up. They want to move on to this tonight. And I originally planned on having it for Thursday, so I want to get them at least a little bit. Oh man. Oh yeah, I forgot. Talking and forgetting what I was doing. They can go right shoulder in like 6. Get those flags over, everyone. There you go. Not hitting anyone now. They're smart. Oh. Only a minimal phasing through other people. As long as it's not like horribly blatant. It's funny, this one right here. There's like a triangle ding as soon as she goes through this line. Oh, it's amusing. Yeah, they're gonna have to just keep going back, huh? These front ones are gonna just have to deal. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do 4, 5, 4, or 4, 4, 5. I generally like having the midfield filled out the most when it comes to things like this. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Because I don't know if... No. I was thinking about having some go around this way, but that's a really long way. If they can just mash... well, mash through also. Mesh through in one count. Rather than having to run the whole way to get around, then I'll take it. Also, I can use this as a way to get... So I thought. I was thinking I could use this as a way to get my higher... Like, I don't know what the nice way to put it is. The less experienced guard further back. That's what I mean. It's a little awkward. That's okay. I'll just keep moving around. One, two, three, four. So I'll need 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to be centered. I'll keep these guys up front. Like, not moving far, so they can continue doing work. It's not ideal, because I'd rather have the visual focus back where the sound is coming from, but I think it'll be alright for these couple counts. While the rest of them... Oof. Oh, this is brutal. Wait, what am I... Yeah, 14, okay. No, I need 5, 4, 5. Oh god. Wow, Realty was freaking out. I don't know what I was thinking. You know what? I'm just gonna go. I can clean up the paths. Now I'm not even speaking English. I'm just mumbling random words. Fourteen, 13, 10. Ooh, there you are. Come on. Oh wow, that's a gauntlet for 9 to get through. See if there's anything I could have done before that. I could bring you closer. Oh, that's a mess. No. Oh no. Wait, what? Why are you taking a curved path? Still scary, not quite as scary for 9. Yeah, front guard start spreading out a little. And let's see. Okay. Now we're getting closer to where we want them. Okay, backline. It's the last time you're going to have to really move it fast. I'm not even going to try watching the animation yet. I'm just vaguely trying to get them spaced out in a way that makes them look gigantic. I spent a lot of time trying to optimize guard coverage, or flags, I guess, more than anything. Like a lot of time. So when I see, if I see one of my groups where they've like changed my guard work or something, that hasn't happened in a long time. But they like change my guard staging, or there's like 15 holes in the guard. It makes me really sad. Okay, it's definitely manageable. And then, now the guard gets to kind of settle in. Before they start the ensemble work. If it's written, if their work is written anything like I imagine it. Yeah, I move people back and forth to and from the same places a lot. I try to give at least 4 steps clearance from guard, or yeah. I was gonna say for flag, but yeah, rifles, weapons, yeah, they get at least the same amount of clearance. Hmm. Kind of want them staggered to prevent. I don't want to create any actual like. I'm trying to avoid creating actual lines with the guard, like curves. I just want their color to fill up as much of the field as possible. Like I said, I spend way too much time working on that. That looks pretty good from the box. Now I'm going to put in a little. I want these ones to distract. Is that a proper marching term? Distract with everything else happening. Guardways. Oh, they're already paying attention to. How about bent wall pose? Layered T-pose, right? I don't know if anyone is watching now or will watch the stream later. I don't know if you've noticed that in the drill videos I share where there's like a big flag reveal impact thing, I always have them holding a flag stripped, and then I have a move to layered pose 1 right, and then I switch over to their actual flag and make sure they're in this pose, because the way the flag's angled, it's kind of invisible to the viewer, and it's just for these ones I've selected here. That way, whenever they go to attention before they start their work, it creates the illusion like they're like unraveling their flag before they do their work. But it didn't work. Oh, it's because I had this set to 6. And I need to actually play the whole thing. Well, never mind. Okay. Screw it. You don't understand what I'm saying. Okay. Oh no. Okay. But for now, you're gonna go to attention 1. 3 counts. Then I just want you to spin. Oh god, I really need to regroup these. I forgot. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Let's see. I have 13, 14, 12, 11, and 10 on the back. And these 4 in the middle. And of course it forgets. Or it doesn't know. I've noticed that if you try that, like you go ahead, like I have them all glued up the way I want here. Then I go to here. Ah, okay. And then I group like secondary count. Oh, come on. So it groups like how it is here. Cool. So I got that grouped up. It's probably gonna work now. Yeah, never mind. I must have been just doing something wrong or skipping a step. Which is pretty common. Oh. I really wish it would just remember how I had, like the way I was last using them. Like how they were grouped the very last way I was using it. I don't know if that's something that would be possible. It would definitely make things a little more efficient. Looks a little weird. Another trick, is you can always turn the flags, turn the guard to their one side, and that also kind of helps make their flags disappear. If you're trying to save them for a big impact. I forgot one. And I forgot forgot which one I was using. Okay. And you guys are gonna do some, I don't know, some random visual. With your extremely starched silks that stick out straight from the hole no matter what. Some of these, the non-tosses and non-just spins, I've noticed they end on in weird positions, and I think that has to do with saying starting on count instead of ending on, but almost every time I use ending on, they just don't do anything. Yeah, they just don't do anything. So there's probably something I don't understand of how to use that feature, but what I do is I'll just end it either early, so 10, and then I'll use these next 2 counts to get to attention 1. Attention 1 is what all of the flag work starts with. Oh god. So that's how you can get really clean transitions from one type of like flag work to the next. So these center ones are now clear, so they can start work. Ooh. But they need to get back to attention, or else you get like a really juddery transition. I'll have them. Oh, I know this is out of sync with this time signature, but it fits within that time, within this 12 count move. Oh, for the love of God. And then I'll have the, actually I need them to turn forward. I'll turn forward really slow. And I'll have these guys spinning at a third. To try to just make it, you know, to represent all the musical things happening there. I know they're playing dotted halves in the woodwinds, those like long phrases, but yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect to look cool. And then they need to be turning forward. Last three. Visuals. Tension 1, 3. So now I have everyone facing forward at attention for the impact. And I'll just have this span the whole. We'll see what this looks like. Huh. It's actually kind of cool because they like prep for the toss in like 3 counts. And then they actually do their toss while everyone's moving. I guess I should move the guard too. Woo. I do wish. Yeah, the preps for these tosses take a long time. It'd be cool if I could get like one whole rotation in, so it's like spin, toss, spin, toss. You know, I know that technically none of this really matters, but I like to show what I think should be happening. And toss, spin, slow, out. As a former guard director that's no longer with us, taught a guard. Stuck with them all. Slow, out. Yeah, the groupings are infuriating sometimes. But it's generally my fault for not just forgetting to do things, or I don't know. It's funny because a lot of the times it is literally saving like a fraction of a second. Like if I could make a feature just happen the way I wanted, it saves like maybe a second of actual work. Sometimes it actually would be more like that weird. Oh, I like when the flags freak out. But I guess it adds up after like when you have really long writing sessions. If you can save a couple seconds every 5 minutes, that would add up. That looks cool. Yeah. See, we all think very similarly. So it needs to be a little bit further here and here. Autosave. I thought I had autosave set up every 10 minutes. It feels like it feels further, like, longer than that. But luckily I haven't needed that since the latest build. They removed the prop swap issue. It's been amazing. Oh, my guard's back to normal. I kind of wish that these would not do that also. I'm sure if it switched to where it, like this one, where if it always went to how you were, like what their last state, oh god, I don't know. Yeah, there's no way to make that easier. That's just my fault for not writing in the guard stuff as I was going. This should work out geometrically pretty well, I think. Oh. That's all right. Oof. Ooh. It's kind of a weird windowed window block. Oof. This front area has more space, but if I fill up that space, it makes the guards Pacing look weird. Basically trying to mirror the back group of 5. That should be it. There's a problem whenever I start writing guard, staging exclusively in real view. I just keep moving things around over and over. It just got to look good. Spin. Do one more spin. And then throw it in the air. Do a triple on flag. I trust you. The doubles on flags look just... I think it's because they don't go up in the air much during the first rotation. Because the way I see most, whenever you toss a double on flag, you generally are releasing it from your hand above your head or at your head, which is where they release in Pyware. So I use these triples as doubles. Everyone's still... Why are they facing... Oh god. I've been having a weird bug that apparently only I'm having, where if I'm writing, I'm doing stuff in the grid view. Ooh. What the heck? And then I go over to the real view. It like... Oh, it's not gonna do it now. Oh, there it is. It's like, the longer I spin in grid... Oh, it's not gonna do it. It like snaps, like as soon as I start moving the angle of the camera, it like moves a little bit, and then it snaps back, and then it starts moving again. We can't figure out what's causing that. It's annoying. Alright, we're almost done. Oh, I need to move. You guys need to come. All right. Turn front in 4 counts. Yeah. kinda think the color guard should be moving through this whole section. I think that's why I wish I could get them to do that extra spin, is because the friggin' drum line is just getting after it while the horn lines are taking those 3 count measure breaks. I guess and the pit. It kind of takes away from the velocity. So I'll take it back out. I don't know, here's a fun trick. So say I want to move this endpoint to here. Go to the range that you want to get rid of. Backwards, right. Delete the transition. Forwards, right. Go here. Select everything again. And then just push or morph and accept. I did it the wrong way. Oh, I am so smart. Actually, that might not look bad. Oh, I like it better that way. It's a happy accident. A little tree. Happy little cloud. Accident. Whoa. Okay. You don't have to get there in one step guard. You got 3 whole steps. Just gotta adjust these a little bit. Oh yeah, I dig it. That's always fun. Oh yeah, and then I just do another push to make sure everything is all right. Drumline being in kind of the nowhere is a little bit worrying, but I think it'll be alright. Let's add some more visuals. I kind of already know what I want to happen here. We'll go whatever. Anything you do in unison looks cool, as long as it's clean. Grumpy. So if this is timed right, the winds will be at their low point in the plie while the flags are at their high point. Not quite. Good enough though. And then let's have them pop to the box. Not horns down. you guys to power stance. Left. No. Oh god. Snares. I think it's power stance left. Yeah. You know, I guess it would work for them too. It'd get them angled. Yeah. Bring you guys back together. Stand. 2. I think the guard can do the same lower body. Oh. Never mind. Sometimes it gets fussy because a flag is not a trumpet. Contrary to popular belief. Let's see. Let's offset. So 9 counts. Let's do 4. I think I had them going left. We'll go right. And then Grand Plie in 5. 5. 5. So it'll be slightly offset. Or not. Okay. Roger's on 4. No. That's kind of my pen. I misclick sometimes. Yeah. Save. Wow, time went by fast. Let's see what we've done. Ah, did that thing. Yay. Oh, no, stop. Cool. Well, the rest of this is, I'm gonna just have to get in notes and fixing labels for the rest of this. So that stuff is boring. No one wants to watch that. I will, I'll probably try streaming the rest of this. If not, I'll share the final product. And you'll see how it all comes together. I'm excited. This show is really cool. And they're coming to Oklahoma. They're coming to one of our local shows, so that's even cooler. So, I appreciate everyone that watched. Let's see. Yeah. I got fancy streaming things happening. So, yeah. I'm surprised some people came and watched, so I definitely appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a good night. Peace out.